This is a quick tutorial on how to recognize and write down bond types. So the first things we have to look at the periodic table and be able to recognize metals and nonmetals. And for the nonmetals, we need to know weak versus strong nonmetals. We have to learn those different types of bondings. And then finally, there is something about the notation on a couple of the different bond types, the notation of charges. Now this chart here is very important. The periodic table, we have the low electronegativity, and these are all the metals. And then we have the higher electronegativity nonmetals, and they come in two groups. So we have the weak nonmetals, don't forget hydrogen is part of those, and the strong nonmetals, just this little group of 4 up here in the corner. So here's the chart. You really need to know this. So let's start from the bottom. If we have two nonmetals, then the bonding is metallic, and there is no notation you have to write. If you got a metal and a nonmetal, it's ionic, and you need to put a positive and negative. So here's NaCl, so the metal is the one that becomes positive, and the nonmetal becomes negative. Then if you have two nonmetals, we have a choice. If the two nonmetals come from the same group, so if we have two things from the weak or two things from the strong, then they are going to share equally, and they're going to be nonpolar covalent, and there will be no notation you have to draw. But if the one comes from the weak and one comes from the strong, don't forget hydrogen, then they're not going to share equally, so we need to show that there is a charge difference, and whichever one has a larger electronegativity gets the negative, and whoever has the lower electronegativity gets the positive. So the lowercase delta, partial positive, partial negative, and this is like the picture we have on the front page. So take a few moments, learn this chart, and then try these problems. So do a pause, try the problems, and when you're done, we'll show you the answers. So we'll pause. Here we go to the answers.